Yeah, get down.
Hi guys! Okay, so I'm back. I'm so sorry that I've been gone this month, but October was too crazy. But I have a new face to introduce you to. This is the beautiful Jenny. She's new to the Silly Farm family. So I hope everybody had a great Halloween season. There are so many cool things coming up. We have a paint-a-thon coming up December 2nd, 12 hours of live classes with the best in the business, Nick and Brian Wolf. Our producer John is going to do something, Pam, Marcella, Jay Bautista. Like, it's going to be fantastic. All to raise money for the Covenant House. And if you guys want to stay in touch with me or things that we're doing or what's going on at Silly Farm, classes, everything, where we're going to be touring, please visit my Facebook page on Silly Farm or on FabaTV. Check out sillyfarm.com, and then I'll send you guys links to my blog, the Faba blog. So there's so much cool things going on, but I need you guys to keep in contact with me so that I know what I'm doing right or wrong. So let's get started. So I have my beautiful model Jenny here, and she's perfect. So this particular arty cake is called Mermaid, and I like it because it has a lot of this gold in it and it's lined with a black. So it's really good for doing eye designs, and quick ones at that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just load my arty cake back and forth. So basically you're just going to go back and forth just like this so that you're picking up equal amounts of paint on both sides. So then once you have your brush loaded, there's kind of a trick to accomplishing a fast eye design using your arty cakes. So the first thing is you only want to pick up a little. You see this really thin line? I just want a really thin line of black. You don't want the black to be overpowering. You want the majority of it to be the gold. So then all I'm going to do is I'm going to ask her to close her eye. I'm going to move her hair so I don't paint her hair. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of holding your brush like this, the reason I don't want to hold my brush completely horizontal is because what's going to happen is then you are going to have this block line, and you don't want that. You want it to be kind of a sexier eye. So what I'm going to do is hold it at an angle, okay? So that when I'm going to cover her eye, then I'm going to get a nice lift versus a nice big block on her eye, because that's not sexy at all. So what I'm going to do is hold it on an angle. I press against her lid, I don't know what that is. And then I'm just going to drag it up and twist on the approach up. So I'm just covering her lid, pressing, and I'm twisting to a point right there. So this way you get a perfectly blended eye just like that, and the colors look really good and they're bright, and it gives it an automatic liner. So from the corner of the eye, since I already have the black, it acts as your guideline. So I'm just going to, from the corner of the eye, press on it, squiggle my brush, and just drip it down so that it kind of looks like paint spots right there. And I'm going to just add, I'm going to get my brush pretty wet so that it's not dry. When your brush is dry, then you're not going to get the same line work out of it, because it's going to either be clumpy or it's going to look thin and worn out. So that's why you want to go on the side of being a little bit wetter. So now I'm just going to press my brush again and make these kind of drip splat marks right along the edge right there, and I'll bring it out. So I'm just going to repeat that in here wherever I think that she needs it so that it looks like paint. So if you guys can see right there, I just went right along the edge. And then in the corner of her eye here, in the corner of her eye right here, I'm just going to make it a little bit detailed and defined by just coming out and extending right inside of there. And you can also do this by creating a cluster of dots, like so. But you don't want to overpower the corner of the eye. So now all I'm going to do to make this a super fast and easy eye is just take a little bit of glitter. And you want to make sure you're doing this while the paint is still wet. So I'm just going to take my glitter, and I'm just going to stick it on my finger just like this. It's really nice and thin, so it automatically sticks to my finger. And then I'm just going to dab it right over the gold, right on her eyelid, right inside of there. And then she's going to open her eye. And then she is going to be my fantastic model. And you can see how fast and easy this eye is. Now this is something that I offer for teens all the time. Her other beautiful eye, she's not really gonna match today, but she has these beautiful eyes. So I figure, you know what, let me keep it in the family of being fabulous. I'm going to use this. Now my assistant has been, sorry about that. My assistant makes fun of me because I make up these names to these rainbow cakes, which we have like 5 million. And yeah, it gets hard coming up with new names and how to be cool every month. So this rainbow cake is named Pixie Pie. That's where you get this awesome color combination. It has metallics, and anyways, it's one of my favorites. Okay, so again, I'm just going to spray this, not in her face. I just spray the front of it so that I get this wet. And then all I'm going to do is take my sponge and I rub it over the surface like so. And when you are loading your rainbow cake, you want to make sure that you're loading at least 3/4 of the bottom and about a fingernail's worth on the side. This way you know it's loaded properly. So I'm going to ask her to close her eye. And again, I'm going to start off in the corner of the eye. So I'll start off with the white color. So then all I'm going to do is just press it and bring it down to about the corner of her eye. So I'm basically making kind of like a pie shape. But as you can see, these colors blend so incredibly nicely. So whether you're doing a little girl design or I use it for a fantasy cat, it's just a really pretty blend, even if you just do it on your own eye. And I'll show you what I mean really quick. If I just close my eye, and then I'm going to just press it in there if I wanted to just keep it on my eye, you can see how incredibly nice the colors look when they're blended. So it's really pretty to do on your own self, not that you would wear this as makeup every day. And I'll flip it around and do it on this side, just so you guys can see. Because when I'm face painting, I'll clean that up. When I'm face painting, I like to do my own eyes. So you see how pretty that is? If you just paint some swirls around it, that's with the blue first, with the white first. See how pretty it looks? You give yourself this beautiful eye that I also did on her. Okay, so back to business. So I'm going to start off in the corner of her eye right here, and I'm going to start off pretty straight. I come out and I make a curl just like that. Now if you notice, when I'm painting, I use the tip of my brush a lot. What that does is it helps me get a nice thin point. If you're painting from the side of your brush, then you're using at least this inch to create a line, and that's not really what you're looking for. You want to get to the tip of that brush because that's, you know, less than a millimeter right there. So underneath this swirl right here, I'm just going to build off of it and create my teardrops right into the corner of the eye right in there. So now I'm going to start in the corner of her eye. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to curl just like that, and I'm going to bring this line all the way down right inside of there. So now the good thing is I have a start and a finish. So now I know where to go, because all I have to do is connect these so that I finish the edge. This is where your stencils come into play, because I can just use them for a quick fix, and I can use them to fill in that area, which I will do, but then I'm also going to do something on top of it. So I'm going to take my stars, because stars are in, Rihanna is in. So, you know, since she's in, stars are in, and that's what stars seem to be getting, is star tattoos. So I'm just going to lay it against here. I loaded my sponge with white, and now I'm just going over the open areas, and I lift it up, and I have this beautiful star design right inside of there. And then I'm going to repeat this same pattern kind of right underneath this area. Now the cool thing to notice about these stencils is that since they're round, it helps you with the shape of the face. So if I just laid it like this star pattern would be heading down. That's why I'm not going to do that, because I want it to frame the shape of her eye right here. So that's why I'm going to make sure that when I lay it down, that I'm using this corner, which is round, which lines up with the shape of her face. There is a science to face painting, boys and girls. Okay, so now that I lifted it, now you can see how this design is flowing around that. So then I'm just going to go back in with my white, And I'm just going to give it a little bit more of a detail right inside of here. So I'm just going to fill in with some teardrops right inside of this area in the corner of her eye. And I'm going to go over this one more time with my paintbrush. And I'm going to do the same thing on the edges, is just create these edges using a little bit of my teardrops, so that I can finish the edge off. So you see what I did right inside of there. And then I'm going to go over this one more time. So I come off of my teardrop and I go over and around, and I'm just gonna come down. So now I have this fast and beautiful eye. You have a couple of options. See, I like this because it's simple and white is such a crisp color. So you could naturally just go right in and just add glitter and it would be perfectly done. But what I'm going to do is add just a little bit of black. This is a number 3 brush, a number 3 gold grip. I like it. The point stays nice and pointy. And I'm going in with a smaller brush because I'm adding an outline. An outline doesn't mean that you have to outline both sides of every single line. It means just a little bit here and there. So practice going just a little bit here and there. So notice how straight I am on the tip of the brush and how I never change angles, and I'm just almost floating on the tip of my brush right in there, just to add a little bit more of a defined outline. So again, I'll go right on the outside. So as you guys can see how that black just made that little bit of a difference, just to make her a little bit more grown up. And this is when you can go inside of these and add a little bit, bump it up by just pulling it in a little bit more on every other one. That way you create the shape of that actual design. And then on every other star, I'm just going to outline just pieces of it to make them a little bit more bold. And I'll do the same thing on the inside of these teardrops. It just give the outside and the underbelly a little bit. And the same thing here, very gently I'm outlining that right inside of the corner of her eye. And then off of the edge, I like to come off just so that I give that illusion of an actual of eyeliner without having to do an eyeliner. All right, so then I'm gonna have this beautiful model here. Look at that sexy eye. I wanna be like Jenny when I grow up. So now I'm going to use my glitter. This one is a clear fairy dust. It's really good because it goes over every single color without it overpowering it. So I'm just going to tap it right along the edges, right there, to make it sparkle and shine. And then I'm going to just have Jenny look at you guys, give you her sexy eye so that you can see what I did here. So then she's going to turn to the other side, show off that other sexy eye. Look at the dramatic differences of the looks, guys. Like, you have one sexy eye that's a little bit more adult. You can go out to the club wearing something like this, and then the other side is just fun and playful. So I want to thank you guys for joining us today. Oh, I look crazy. Look at my eyes. And I will be posting more classes and videos, and check out FabaTV and our Facebook and everything else that we have going on. Have a great day. All right.